Welcome back to FDVN channel, where we share current legal issues, dissemination, free legal advice, tell stories about the legal profession, provide legal knowledge. The channel also discusses professional issues, practice stories of the legal profession in Vietnam nowadays. Today, let's find out more with FDVN about the business suspension procedure for enterprises and notes to be considered when carrying out this procedure. 1. The procedures and dossiers of enterprises temporarily suspending business. According to Clause 1, Article 206 of the Enterprise Law 2020 and the guidance in Article 66 of Decree No. 01/2021/NDCP, enterprises temporarily suspending business shall follow specific procedures as follows. Send a written notification to the Business Registration Authority at least 3 working days before the suspension date. Documents to be prepared. Notice of business suspension. The resolution or decision and the copy of the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Members of the Limited Liability Company with 2 or more members or partnership, or of the Board of Directors of the Joint Stock Company, or the resolution or decision of the owner of the single-member Limited Liability Company on business suspension. In case the enterprise authorizes another person to carry out the procedures, a power of attorney or an authorization contract with a copy of the authorized person's ID card or CCCD is required. The procedure. After receiving the application for enterprise registration, the Business Registration Office shall give a confirmation slip, examine the validity of received documents, and issue a certification that the enterprise or its branch/representative office/business location has registered the business suspension or resumption of business ahead of schedule within 3 working days from the receipt of satisfactory documents. If the enterprise is still suspended after the notified suspension period, another notification must be sent to the Business Registration Office at least 3 days before the planned date of suspension. Each notified suspension period must not exceed 1 year. The notes on business suspension procedures. First, it is necessary to submit the application for business suspension at least 3 working days before the suspension or resumption date. For example, if an enterprise intends to suspend its business on August 19, 2022, Friday, the enterprise shall submit a notice of business suspension on Monday, August 15, 2022. Second, records must be presented in electronic document. According to Clause 2, Article 43 of Decree No. 01/2021/NDCP stipulating, electronic document is a document in the data form created or digitalized from the paper document, which contains the exact and complete information on the paper document. The electronic document is in the .doc, .docs or .pdf format. Enterprises should format documents in .pdf format by scanning documents. Third, in cases, it is necessary to make the tax finalization dossier. This issue is specified in Clause 2, Article 4 of Decree No. 126/2020/NDCP elaboration of the law on tax administration. 2. During business suspension, a. The taxpayer is not required to submit tax declaration dossiers, unless the suspension begins in the middle of a monthly/quarterly/annual tax period, in which case the tax declaration dossier of that month/quarter/year must be submitted. C. The taxpayer must not use invoices and are not required to submit invoice use reports. In case the taxpayer is permitted by the tax authority to use invoices in accordance with invoice laws, the taxpayer shall submit the tax declaration dossier and invoice use reports as per regulations. D. The taxpayer shall implement the tax authority's decisions and notices of debt collection, enforcement of tax decisions, inspection of compliance to tax laws and administrative penalties for tax offenses in accordance with the law on tax administration. Thus, during the time the enterprise suspends its business, the enterprise is not required to submit tax declaration dossiers, unless the suspension begins in the middle of a monthly/quarterly/annual tax period, in which case the tax declaration dossier of that month/quarter/year must be submitted. We hope that the information in today's video is useful to you. Please like, share, subscribe, and support the FDVN channel on YouTube for more interesting legal information. Goodbye and see you again.